let's get into what exactly Lifeforce is. We've been discussing it so far in terms of food, and we know it's the key factor in what makes Immortality products extend our lives. Lifeforce is a form of biological electricity. It moves throughout our bodies. Our bodies are mostly water, and we're capable of holding a charge. This bioelectric energy has been called chi, ki, or prana in Eastern medicine practices, and mana by the Hawaiians. If you look at a Chinese acupuncture chart, you will see a series of meridians that move down the hands and the feet. These are the pathways which this life force flows out of the body. The Chinese have known this for centuries, and for anyone who's experienced acupuncture, there are moments when you can feel electric shocks as blocked energy is released and shoots out the body. But where is this life force originating from? Chinese medicine would say that this energy is generated in the spleen, an organ in the body. But we also know that people can have their spleen surgically removed by modern medicine, and they're still alive. So clearly the life force must be coming from somewhere else. And we would say it's coming from both inside and outside the body. Our bodies are living communities of bacteria and cells. These bacteria and cells are alive. We also have metabolic enzymes, and they carry life force as well. There have also been studies on the morphogenic field, or universal energy field, which surrounds our bodies and connects with all things. There appears to be a flow of energy, like an electrical circuit, that originates from this field and passes through us. The acupuncture meridian system discovered by the Chinese are the pathways out of the body. So life force is entering our cells and organs, passing through us, and leaving out our hands and feet, completing this electrical circuit. Now, let's take a moment to talk about minerals, and specifically crystals. Quartz crystals are used to regulate watches, as they have a unique ability, when put under pressure, to produce electricity. This is called piezoelectricity. Our bones are also made of minerals, and our DNA is also a crystalline structure. It is important to understand this basic concept of piezoelectricity because our bodies are put under constant pressure, and all the minerals inside of us are resonating, generating, and emanating minute forms of bioelectricity. The same electricity can be found in plants as well, as they process minerals from the soil for animal absorption. This bioelectric energy is always moving through living structures. We want to keep as much life force as possible flowing through the body. The more life force that is flowing, the more alive you will feel. Another key component connecting our bodies is water. Water is the conduit for life. Life on Earth emerged from water, and although we live on land today, our bodies are still mostly made up of water. This liquid is a carrier of information. The science of cymatics, or the science of sound made visible, shows how different frequencies passing through objects can alter their structure. These visible structures, or vibrational patterns, can be seen clearly using sand over a speaker or a drum. The patterns change as different vibrations pass through them. Water, as was discovered by experiments done by scientist Dr. Masaru Emoto, will do the same thing. Like the sand, water can also change structural patterns, but at a molecular level, as different frequencies or vibrations pass through it. Dr. Emoto did experiments where he spoke different words into the water and then flash froze them. The frequencies of his voice were altering the water in that moment, and once frozen, the water became like a photograph or a moment captured in time. To his surprise, when he read positive messages, he saw beautiful patterns frozen in time. The crystals were more orderly and symmetrical, what we will call structured. When he yelled angry things to the water or spoke negative messages, the resulting crystals were rather discordant, unsymmetrical, and chaotic looking. This allowed Dr. Emoto to actually capture a visual representation of these vibrations. The vibrations, or information, passed through the water and restructured it, just like how the sound waves restructured the sand. And that is key to our understanding. So, from the work of Dr. Emoto and other scientists studying cymatics, we can be sure that water can hold and pass vibrational information and structures. But do these structures make a difference to the functioning of our bodies? The simple answer is yes. Water with life force is structured in a way so that it easily penetrates the cells of our body, and it is referred to as living water. Fresh coconut water is a perfect example of this. Plants can create living water, like our bodies can. It just takes energy to make the conversion. And There are instances where the human body becomes so run down near the end of life that there's not even enough energy to convert regular water into living water. If the water is not living, it cannot hydrate the cells. This becomes apparent in late-stage cancer patients. At some point, they can no longer even swallow water. The body does not have the energy it needs to use it. The problem, however, is not with the water, but with the structure of the water. We know this because freshly cut coconut water is still drinkable. Why? Because the coconut tree has structured the water, charged it with life force, so that it requires no energy expenditure from the depleted person to convert it to living water, so it goes straight into the cells. Cancer patients, despite not being able to drink regular water, will still be able to drink and absorb freshly cut coconut water because it comes with its own life force. The structure and pattern of water changes when life force is present, and the body recognizes this and allows the person to drink it. It's remarkable, all from vibrations. The body knows. Many of you have probably experienced some form of this as well. There have probably been times after workout when you're just exhausted and you just can't get enough water. Or no matter how much you drink, you're still thirsty. You don't feel satiated. When drinking water structured with life force, however, the water is very nourishing, refreshing, and immediately usable by the cells. Structured water is important for two reasons. Not only will it more easily penetrate and hydrate the cells, but water can also carry vibrational messages, as we've seen. And by the very nature of osmosis, these messages will spread throughout the body, wherever there's water. Every function of the human body is connected to the osmotic flow of water. Water acts as a harmonic communicator, a liquid conduit, passing information both inside the cells and between the cells. These pattern frequencies are messages for mineral and nutrient transportation, as well as removing toxins from the cells. And these signals are traveling instantly. And here comes the kicker, the entire reason for explaining this vibrational system to you. Even if your body has taken a toll over the years, whatever state you're in, your body can be jump-started towards regeneration instantly by sending a vibrational signal through the waters of your body. With this vibration, your body will feel as if it's operating in a state of perfection. Once the body receives this signal, it begins to operate in a state of perfection. And that means regeneration. Of course, the signal fades after a few minutes, but as we do this every day and saturate the body in this signal, more and more cells regenerate until this signal is eventually being emitted by your body all the time. And you're actually then in a state of perfection, and you're being it. Let's go further. In nature, everything living is vibrating. Any fruit or raw plant has water in it. And these fruits and plants also contain minerals and DNA, which are resonating. Remember the piezoelectric effect? This means every living structure, whether it's a human being, an apple, a kale leaf, emanates a unique vibrational structure. If we could see this structure with our own visible eyes, like cymatics, it would look like a unique pattern surrounding the object. Just as a pebble can ripple a pond and the waves reach beyond the initial splash, so too does the water vibrate inside these fruits and plants in a unique pattern that extends just beyond the living object. Like a ringing bell, this unique vibration passes on information about all the components inside the item to our bodies. This is how the infinite intelligence in our body knows how to best utilize this item and what component pieces and enzymes are available. We know this because when we eat a meal that is half cooked and half raw, the body knows that it only needs enzymes for the cooked food and only takes as many digestive or metabolic enzymes off the organs to digest the cooked half. Enzymes are precious. How does it know this? It knows and recognizes the raw food has enzymes and does not deplete the body one bit further than it should. It knows this instantly. We propose that the body is reading the vibrational information emanating from the DNA in the living food through the structured water. Remember, DNA is a crystalline structure. This was first proven by research that came from crystalline radiography. And the work of Dr. Fritz Albert Popp, the inventor of biophoton theory, points to DNA being the most important crystalline field in the interaction with matter. One of DNA's many functions is to code for enzymes. That structured information is being emitted from the DNA through vibration, and this may be how the body instantly knows what it is eating and how to use all the component parts of the food. This may be how the body distinguishes and only deploys enzymes for the unrecognizable cooked half of the meal. The high heat damaged the cooked food's DNA and removed its bioelectric component, so it couldn't be identified. Incredible. So now that we know that our body is structured vibrating water with information traveling through it via the living water and interacting with minerals in our bones and crystalline structures of DNA, how is this all relevant to longevity? The word is coherence. The coherence we're talking about is that high vibrational state of perfection we mentioned before. It is the vibrational pattern of life force, of wholeness and oneness. It's not a particular frequency, but rather the synergy of all frequencies combined. When this high vibration is present in the body and vibrating every cell in our bodies, we are held in a vibrational structured pattern of love and oneness. It is in this state that the body operates in perfection. It is in this perfection that we can continuously regenerate and safely know we will propagate new cells that are equally resilient and structured. So this is absolutely crucial to understand. A newborn baby radiates the structure, but as we slowly degrade by eating foods devoid of life force and fill our bodies with toxins, plaque, and mineral deposits, we no longer vibrate harmoniously. But with the introduction of immortality products, we are kickstarting and signaling the body that we are in perfection again. We're basically tricking the body. From there, each day with every drop, we begin working the body towards vibrating again at the highest level. The coherence pattern will gradually be restored, and that means regeneration until we are held in our own perfect structure. To top this all off, this highly organized, perfect structure that will be passing through your body can alter how we feel. Remember when Dr. Emoto spoke positive and loving messages in his water experiments? It wasn't the phonetic sound of the letters as much as the feeling and intention associated with the words. In fact, he was speaking Japanese rather than English, yet the patterns in the water were the same. It was the vibration behind what he was saying. He could have not said a word and just felt angry inside, or felt bitterness, or felt love inside, and those vibrations, although not as strong as sound waves, would have spread from his body and had the same effect upon the water. Likewise, your body will also feel these structured vibrations. As you drink these products and these vibrations pass through you, you may feel a quick tingle or shiver down your body. You may feel a little smile. These vibrations are highly structured, just like Dr. Emoto's patterns for love. And that means you too will begin feeling better and better as this good feeling takes hold in your body and you begin to vibrate at this level more and more. Life force truly is good vibrations. Taking all this into account, in the near future, when we begin altering the genes of living things, we must know we will be altering their vibrational pattern as well. If anyone here is a computer programmer, you will know that if you're creating a computer program and you forget something like a semicolon or put something in the wrong place or remove something entirely, it can corrupt the entire program. Despite there being hundreds of lines of code, without that one thing, the entire program will just not work. Or worse yet, it will work until a certain point when the computer just locks up and crashes. Could modifying a single gene possibly corrupt the entire structure? Will modifying the perfection that is an apple end up generating a new vibrational pattern resembling a deranged or chaotic-looking water crystal instead, like one leg of a star pattern completely missing and now unbalanced? And what will happen when those vibrations are ingested into our bodies? Will our bodies be able to recognize the enzymes? Will the life force in those altered things be diminished or gone entirely? How really are we to know? The simple answer is, we don't. I don't think anyone is looking ahead at this level. But rest assured, if the life force is diminished, so too will our body's ability for regeneration. Protecting against this code corruption at a DNA level brings us to our own DNA and telomeres. DNA is our final key for anti-aging, as it is the code of life that is read and duplicated every time your cells reproduce. As we discussed in the first section, we regenerate an entirely new body every 7 years, and athletes even faster. So if our DNA is corrupted at any point along the process, our new cells will be defective, and they will continue to replicate defective cells. These defective cells may not function correctly, and if the majority of our cells become permanently impaired, life will also cease. Even if we have enough metabolic enzymes, we could be powering a corrupted system. For this reason, it's imperative that we continue to produce high-quality cells, and this is done by ensuring our DNA is protected. As the body ages, the ends of our DNA, called the telomeres, can often break off and shorten. Think of telomeres as the ends of the shoelaces. They're the first areas that start fraying or shortening after several rounds of cell duplication. Telomeres are required for cell duplication, and your cells are duplicating all the time. But when these telomeres, or caps that protect the ends of these chromosomes, shorten, cells no longer divide. And when cells no longer divide, tissue ages. But remember, regeneration is the norm. The good news is that our immortality products harness the power of seaweed and turmeric, and such powerhouse herbs as astragalus, ashwagandha, and Asian ginseng that research has shown boosts enzyme activity such as telomerase. The body can use telomerase to protect and lengthen these telomeres again. This means more robust DNA that can reproduce consistently for longer. This means less mutant cells. Telomerase means we're protecting your telomeres and your code of life for longer. Now, let's get further into this code of life. In the past, it was assumed that DNA, your genes, determined your fate in life. Doctors have even told people that they've inherited a genetic condition. The reality, as scientists have recently uncovered, is that your environment, lifestyle, and diet play a crucial factor in how your DNA expresses itself. There is another level to genetics called epigenetics, or above genetics. This discovery of epigenetics means that we are no longer slaves to our genes. I'm going to say that again. Genetics do not determine your fate. For more on this, look into the research of biologist and pioneer in epigenetics, Dr. Bruce Lipton, PhD, and neuroscientist and pharmacologist, Dr. Candace Pert. The fact is, unless we have been physically born with a genetic defect expressed at birth, such as a 3-chambered heart or 6 fingers and toes, everything else that may express after birth is more a factor of our environment and lifestyle rather than genetic fate. So, if you have a family history of a certain disease, we now know that our environment and our patterns of behavior are triggering the DNA's expression. This is incredibly liberating because it means with lifestyle changes, we can turn genes off and others on. Factors such as, are you living in a state of love, or are you living in fear, and evolutionary fight or flight responses can trigger different genes to activate in the body. Throughout your life, different areas of your DNA are being turned off and on. And if we go back to our original statement about coherence and living in that vibration of perfection and love that is life force itself, we will now be activating the areas of your DNA that will be prolonging your life and expressing the best aspects of the DNA that we've been given. Are you seeing how all this is connected? The structured vibrations in our immortality products will not only protect your telomeres, they will be protecting and expressing our best DNA. This is incredible news because you are no longer a victim of your genes from birth. You're no longer a victim of heredity. You can protect your genes and activate different areas of your DNA depending on your lifestyle and environment. All the enzymes needed to perform all these epigenetic functions are available in our formulas. This leads us to stem cells. Stem cells, everyone is talking about stem cells lately, and it's the last step here on our longevity journey. Stem cells are physically created and released by your bone marrow depending on the strength of your kidneys. What makes these cells so special is they're capable of turning into any type of cell in the body. So a stem cell can be signaled to turn into a muscle cell, a heart cell, a hair cell, or any type of cell that's needed. As your body goes through regeneration, it will use these stem cells to repair old and damaged areas. This is why it's imperative to keep the DNA clean, but also the epigenetic systems clean so they can signal these stem cells to properly switch into whatever types of cells they need to become. As we age, we produce fewer stem cells. This is largely because our kidneys diminish in strength. And as the kidneys diminish in life force, the bone marrow produces fewer stem cells. For this reason, our products are targeted and reinforce the kidneys and restore life force to this particular area. We also use herbs which stimulate the release of stem cells from our bone marrow. From there, they can travel throughout the bloodstream to wherever they're needed in the body and start rebuilding. And your body knows where they're needed. It has that priority checklist, remember? In summary, the combination of all these factors, strong mineral-dense bones, structured living water, holding the body in a state of perfect coherence, protected DNA and telomeres, as well as rejuvenated kidneys, allow the body to regenerate and continuously produce and release stem cells. As long as these stem cells are produced in quantity, the body can regenerate year after year after year. The missing key this whole time has been life force. Lifeforce, Lifeforce, Lifeforce. And now you've got it in your hands. The product you're holding is alive. It's not a powder, it's not a pill, it's alive, and its water is structured in perfection, so it can structure you. In our next and final section, we will delve into how each of these tinctures work.
Immortalité.